Hello, welcome to Studio Cafe 315 and welcome to the Delicate Dreams Sweet Summer Serenity tutorial hop. And I am Roseanne Perla, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Carrie, Karen, and I have created this wonderful 6-day YouTube tutorial with 6 projects. They are all cards. This is card 1 for me on day 2 of Summer Serenity. This is called Delicate Dreams Double Vision card. And see the foils in there? And it's multi-layered like a portrait, and it goes up and down. That's why it's called Double Vision. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. Let's begin. We'll start with the card base. And we are going to do the inside and all of the stamping first. We are using the entire suite over the next 6 days. I picked out 3 of the 2-sided pattern papers, and Carrie picked out 3. And that gave us all of the 12 to use for both sides. And this is the stamp I'm using. And I am using Night of Navy because I love Night of Navy ink. I prefer that over Secret Sea, but you could use Secret Sea as well, or you could use black ink. And I'm just going to stamp this once up in the corner. I am using the Stampin' Blends Old Olive and Hydrangea Hue to color in the leaves and flowers. Then I will use a water painter as well as the Stampin' ink pad to show you alternates to watercoloring. I use the same 2 sets of Stampin' Blend markers for all 3 cards. And I'm going to start with the light brush. And I'm just dotting and filling in. And I'm going to do the same with the green leaves. I don't know why I didn't use Mossy Meadow for this, but I did use the Night of Navy. I think I just got a little excited. I would use black for this when you stamp it, and I would use Mossy Meadow. You could also stamp it in. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of water. And you see that? I'm going to just use my ink. And they never come out the same. And remember, this is regular cardstock, so I don't want to saturate it too much. I am using Hydrangea Hue to watercolor. And this was the one that I liked the best. That's how that one was coming out. Okay. And I'm going to wipe this down. And what I did was I just cleaned this off, took the water off so that I didn't get all of that water in my ink pad. So I added a little bit of water to the blender pen, and it acts like a brush, just like the other one did. Okay, so I add a little blue to that because I used that. Okay, and I'm gonna just fill it in just a teeny bit more. I wanted that little bit of watercolor look, so I'm just gonna make that up a little bit more. And it will dry lighter. There we go. So I have that, and I have one little strip left from my cutting. I'm going to add that right here with my tape runner. And this is the acrylic mat, and it's great to use. I'm going to leave a teeny bit of a white edge on there. I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. I might come back to it in the end. Okay. And that is going to go inside here. And you can, if you have another sentiment for this, it is going to be a thank you kindly. You can add that sentiment. I'm going to pull this out so you can see the full card. Okay, you probably didn't see me put that on. I didn't realize it. Okay. And I'm just going to adhere this regular again with the tape runner. An 1/8 of an inch, so take your time and don't seal it down, move it around. I like it. Okay, so I have these strips for this card that I am going to adhere to this piece of paper. I kept these in order. I paper clipped them. You could clothespin them. You could do whatever you'd like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere one down with adhesive, and then the next one, and they go in order. They're like a puzzle. So when you cut them, I feel like there's 2 here, but there isn't. Okay. So when you cut them, they will be, and they're going to all the way to the edge. You won't even see this blue piece. You're going to start that one on that edge. And then the next one is going to be, you can use dimensionals and see how the puzzle piece is. It goes right in order. You could use dimensionals, as I was saying, or you could use, which is a lot of dimensionals, every other one. So you'll use like an entire sheet. Or you can use the strips, adhesive strips. And I have used those. I use dimensionals on this one. And I've done this before with other DSPs. So everything we're doing, all of these cards are evergreen. This PDF is evergreen because you can use it with majority of the DSP Designer Series paper. So there you have what it will look like. That's what it would look like flat with just cuts. This is what it looks like as a 3D project. Okay, so let's get started with that. Run your tape runner, whatever tape runner you have that you prefer, and get it right up against that edge. And I just slipped. So I'm going to pull it off. Never tack it down really fast. Just go slowly and get it to where you want it to be on the edge. And I always put my like fingernail there and I guide it with both fingers. And there I have it. And I'm going to do the dimensional thing. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 on each of these. And you can see down in there, there's 4. So I divided it up pretty evenly. And this is the next one. You can number these as well with a pencil on the back. I've seen people, demonstrators, put these together in different ways. And I would say there's no right way. Okay. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I'm going to do one by one. Pull off your tabs. Line it up. And remember, you're not showing off that layer underneath. It's mostly a guide. Just want to make sure I got it all the way to the top. Okay. So I prepped the next two. I have the dimensionals on here. And sometimes it's just better to, oops, I didn't do that one, so let me do that one. Didn't put my mat down. Okay. Next one is this one. Now remember, don't just seal it down. Make sure you get it exactly where it needs to be before you adhere it. Sometimes they're easy to get up and sometimes they're not easy to get right off. I already can see my second one. And I suggest you go sideways with it. And I'm going to try, if you get your fingernail right under the dimensional, usually you can get it where you want it to be. Sometimes, it depends. And if you warm them up with your embossing heating tool, it works even better. This one came up. That first one is not coming up. And these are super. I was crafting with my sister. I had to pull her dimensionals up. And it was hot on Sunday. And those came right off. No problem. Okay. Don't fuss too much. You know, that is not the next one. There it is. Okay, that's going to go with dimensionals. I might have to speed this up a little bit. turn things around, they get messed up. Okay, the last two. Now everybody's piece, depending on where you cut your DSP, is going to look a little bit different, right? And it's just so pretty. Like someone said to me, that looks like a portrait. It looks like a painting. And yeah, it is. So lots of little techniques in here, just putting this together and how to do it. And there you have it. I'm gonna glue down right here, this piece, and the inside. Looks great. It looks like a little painting. And see how much those green leaves changed? They changed quite a bit. I might fill them in later. The little white dots there. Okay. And you can put your note in there, sentiment, whatever you like. This is Delicate Dreams, and there are several wishing you love and happiness, happiness and love. Hope you feel your best soon. Hello, friend, and thank you kindly. We are using Night of Navy and Thank You Kindly. And let me zoom in so that you can see. Put this down. Now you could put a glue dot on there. I just want to see there's a right. Yeah, that's the wrong side. If you had to, you could use the wrong side. That's the oopsie side. I'm just evening it out. Okay. I'm adding a dimensional, and then we are going to add the ribbon. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to add that ribbon. Zoom out, and I like keeping the ribbon attached when I do it, but that doesn't always happen. And what I did was I just went back and forth with this, and I'm going to get a glue dot. Now I've had it clipped for a little while, so it sort of calmed down. I'm going to stick a glue dot on here. I'm going to stick a glue dot in between. So I'm going to use 3 of them. Stick one underneath. So I'm sort of holding it all together. And then one more. In between here. Probably could have used 4, but it's okay. I'm doing well. And now I'm going to cut this ribbon with my fabric ribbon scissors that I always use on an angle. And my poor little sentiment got stuck to the box. Everything gets stuck to the box. And I'm going to put this down right about there. And I'm going to add my sentiment there. And I might need another dimensional. I did use 2 on this other one. I'm going to stick one right underneath. And it's just how the ribbon is. So it's not necessarily a bow, and I will show you how I did that. Putting it right underneath there. Pressing down, and I might need another one here or there. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna use one more. And then the one last thing I'm going to show you is the envelope as well. And there you have it. I will even it off a little bit. I have 2 dimensionals there, one there. And on this side, but I don't want it to show. And there it is. And I can play with that a little bit after. So I played with that a little bit and just maneuvered it a little, trimmed off a teeny bit on there. And yeah, they look good. This was the first one I created, and this is the one today. And I am going to take that same stamp, and I'm going to show you with the envelope how I'm going to decorate the back of it. Just the flap without using DSP. Although I have a lot of DSP and it would be very easy to do, I wanted to do something a little bit different with this. I'm using Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to stamp around this a bit, turning. And there's no rhyme or reason for this. Okay. And just a little bit. Right there. And you could color this in with your blending markers if you'd like, and do some blue flowers. And there you have this gorgeous finished card number 2. Okay, and the Delicate Dreams Summer Serenity. Please leave a comment, thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channels, and thank you for watching. Come back tomorrow and see Carrie's creation for day 3. Happy crafting.